Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today you are in for a treat. I am going to show you my best chocolate chip cookie recipe that I have been using for years. When my kids were younger, I made them every week. They always had their friends over. Everyone loved these cookies, and there is a secret ingredient that I'm going to share today so that you too can make these cookies at home. So the secret ingredient to make a chocolate chip cookie that is crispy on the outside and chewy on the inside is Jello pudding. So this is French vanilla. Regular vanilla will work as well, but it really makes the difference. It makes the cookies a little bit sweeter, the actual dough of the cookie, and I like it that way, and I think you will too. So let's get started with the ingredients that you'll need to make these cookies. Most of the ingredients in this cookie recipe are pretty standard, except for the vanilla pudding and the oatmeal. These two ingredients is what gives this cookie its really special texture. I prefer to use a higher quality chocolate chip in this cookie, but honestly, I use whatever's in my pantry. So the first step is to combine the butter and the two kinds of sugar. I'm using my KitchenAid mixer to do this, but you can do this by hand. I've done it many times that way by just mixing it in a bowl and with a spoon. So once the butter is softened, you want to scrape it down from the sides of the bowl and then add in the regular white sugar and the brown sugar, and then make sure these three are well combined. Next step is to add your 2 eggs. When I was filming this, I actually did this backwards. I added the eggs before I added the sugar, but there's just always something with filming. But just so you know, you cream the butter, then the sugar, then the eggs, then the vanilla, and you'll be good to go. Next step after this is adding the vanilla pudding, this additional ingredient that is not normally in chocolate chip cookies, but in my opinion, it always should be because it makes all the difference. This is a good time to, again, scrape down the sides just to make sure that it's well combined. A lot of recipes suggest adding the dry ingredients in one bowl and the wet ingredients in another. I just don't bother. I think it turns out fine either way. So here I'm just adding the flour, the salt, and the baking soda, which are the 3 dry ingredients for this recipe. I just add it to the top, and then I just make sure that it is well mixed. So at this point, we have 2 more ingredients to add, the oatmeal and the chocolate chips. Once we have those included, we're good to go. I just have a standard KitchenAid here, so it struggles a little with these heavy ingredients and this really thick dough. But I just keep mixing it for a little bit until it looks completely combined. I remove the paddle, and then I make sure to really scrape the bottom, because a lot of times the oatmeal, there'll be some dried oatmeal down at the bottom, so I just want to make sure that it is all thoroughly combined before I start scooping it out. Now that the batter is done, we can form them into cookies. I love this pan. I use it all the time to make cookies. There's 2 parts, the metal bottom and then the silicone top. I also use this 1-inch scoop so that my cookies are very uniform in size. I'll try to find these items and link below so that if you want to get them, that will make it a little easier for you. I also like using this scoop because it allows me to make 20 cookies on this cookie sheet in each batch. So that way I get the job done faster, and I really think it's the perfect size cookie. The next step is I just like them to be uniform, so I pat them all down a little, and I also just make sure they're as round as they can be. I also add maybe a couple chocolate chips here and there if it seems like a cookie just doesn't have enough. And now it's time to bake. You bake these cookies at a 350-degree preheated oven for 10 minutes. I'd say between 9 and 11 depending on your oven. Once they come out, you want to be sure that you leave them on the pan for 5 minutes before you move them over to the cooling rack. Allowing that 5 minutes gives them a chance they sink a little and stabilize, so they're much easier to move over to the cooling rack when you've done that. This recipe makes about 55 cookies of these 1-inch size. And this is what they look like when they're done. Don't they look delicious? I think you're really gonna like this one. Please give it a try. Let me know if you do. And thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.